so I'm Lizzie from Love from Lizzie, and today I'm bringing you the November 2025 release. Now the release is attached to our Festive Tales card kit, which if you haven't already seen that video, I suggest you jump out of this one and drop back one to the most recent video before this. Give that a watch and then this will all make much more sense. To give you an overview, we're going to run through all of the recommended items that we are releasing that are brand new, that go directly with the kit. We've also got lots of other lovely festive items and seasonal items that are really good for this time of year for you to play with. We've also got items from last month's kit that we're releasing. I have got another sneak peek for our Wicked Witches virtual retreat. I will share another card that I will be teaching, but that will be somewhere within the video. We will be shipping kits out from the 3rd of November because that's a Monday. And if you want to place any add-ons to come with your kit, if you're a subscriber, please make sure that your order is placed by 9 AM Mountain Time on the 31st, which is Halloween. Okay, so I'm going to jump in because we've got an absolute load to get through. I had a wonderful time creating this collection. So this is what you should have just seen. This is our Festive Tales card kit, and it's jam-packed. We've got coordinating stamps and dies, ephemera, lots and lots of really pretty add-on sparkly bits to satisfy the magpie in you, and all of the other regulars that you would expect to find in a Love from Lizzie card kit. So I'm going to march through these somewhat, but we do have still shots at the very end. So if you haven't got a lot of time and you want to look at everything close up, jump to the end of our video and watch there. So we have a specialty cardstock bundle. This is the Festive Tales cardstock. And so we have matte mirror, ruby red mirror, emerald glitter, gold mirror, ruby glitter, and then we have this really beautiful forest pearlescent which has got a slight gold hue to it. They are 8.5 by 5.5. Then we have our two peel off bundles. So we have our Festive Tales pin, which is green with gold finish, silver moon dust, red with gold finish, and gold moon dust. So they're really lovely traditional seasonal colours here. And then this is our variety. We have racing green mini circle, gold holographic mini twinkle, ruby red straight, and silver mini star. So they are our peel offs. In addition, we have got an add-on ephemera, which is super cute critters that are reading. Now this month's theme is really vintage in colour palette. So, I mean, look at this. Little cats holding a cup of tea. They are adorable. And and there's no repeats. And if on the odd occasion there is a second, it is because the size is different. So there's no repeats of exactly the same icon. So lots and lots. And as you can see, they're all themed around having books or perhaps a gift. And there's holly in some of them. But they all work. They're exactly the same colour palette as that of the kit. So that is the add-on critter ephemera. Pop those here. We also have this whopping die set, which is going to be hours of fun to build. So we've die cut them all out. So you have a bookshelf, which has got this lovely wood effect to it. And if I pull it up under the close-up, you'll see what I mean. So it's got like a really nice wood grain. And then you have tons of elements to put on your bookshelf. Now this has all been die cut in gold, but obviously you could die cut this however you please. You've got a little table. Let's put the cactus on. And then you die cut another shelf and you can put some additional books up. We've got a pot which can take all of the pens and pencils. It's a really lovely set to create lovely scenes with. And if you die cut this a few times, you can play for hours. There's flowers, there's leaves, lots of different sized books. There's even like a mini wood grain shelf, so you could do a couple of floating shelves. So that's a really lovely big set that's lots of fun to play with, particularly if you've got little ones to play with, because you could just die cut lots of those bits out on white cardstock and let the little ones colour them all in and then just create different scenes, you know, like a busy book. They used to be a lifesaver in the car with my little pig. So I'm just going to try and get these all back together. And we will move on to our next item. Okay. So we have lots and lots of festive items. Now these are adorable. These double up as, you can pop them on your card as a decoration, but they can be removable from your card so that people can hang them on their tree or on a garland somewhere. So they're super, super cute. Glittered wooden angels, sorry, in both silver and gold. You get 2 of each. Now we have some sentiment dies, and there are 3 this month. We have Naughty or Nice, and they are this is a layering die. We also have Santa Please Stop Here, and we have December the 25th. Now these ones, I die cut the back out of gold matte mirror, and then I die cut the top layer out of white, and then I just used some alcohol markers to pop a little bit of green over the holly and over the berries, and then I used a gel pen just to draw some round shapes on so that the berries were significantly separate. But that's a really nice way to add a sentiment onto some really pretty patterned paper. We've also got our little bauble here, which is super cute, and you can die cut those from various different colours and hang them at different lengths, and then just use your pinstripe peel-offs to take them up to the top of the card. And the star from the centre, the waist piece, if you like, is really pretty. We also have, and this is adorable, this little guy, he's our gingerbread. Look at him. Very happy little gingerbread man, and because he's just over 1 inch wide and 1.5 inches tall, so you could do like a whole row of dancing gingerbread on your cards. They're really, really cute guy. Here we have our trio of trees. So we have one that has like this sort of modern design, one with baubles, and then one that almost looks like it has snow on it. And there is one here that's got a little star that is separate, so you could pop the star at the top of all of those trees. And then we have the gift die. Now this is a silhouette die, so please excuse the rough cut around the edge, but these sort of dies are perfect for shaker cards. So if I hadn't have cut around the edge, you die cut this out of your large panel multiple times, and then you pop some foam around it, and you can have lots of different shaker cards on one big panel. And I think that I'm going to be making that in one of our lives coming up shortly. Here we have our nutcrackers. Now these guys are adorable. I absolutely love a nutcracker. It's not Christmas without one. And these 3 chaps are all slightly different, but as you can see, they have similar base and leg, and then they have just different uniform jackets, faces and hats. But these are lovely to paper piece together, so you can fill in the drumsticks on this chap and put the holly in on his hat, I suppose it is. This one's wearing more of what looks like a crown. So there's lots of variations with that. Now this one, this is a really gorgeous. So this is a scene builder. So all of these large dies don't have a bottom to them. So you can die cut them out and you can allow for them to be as long as possible. And the reason that that's done is so that you can layer them all the way down a card front. So let me just show you. Now these are all obviously in gold, and you could change. So you could just have gold coming down from this one aspect, but you could, it's almost like you can create your winter scene running down the card. But then there's also the moon, and we have I didn't get it all out, did I? Silly me. We also have the trees, which are additional, so you could pop a couple of extra trees. We have some snowflakes and stars in case you're wanting to make it a little bit of a magical scene. There is this heart, which is actually the waist cut from here. But there is so many tiny weeny beautiful little stars that you can use. So you can do all the stars in one pass if you want to. The stars and the twinkles. It's a really, really pretty scene to build up. So I will pop those all back. Depending on, you know, a lot of these sets are really, really handy if you like to spend time die cutting, because you can just sit there, pop the TV on, and then die cut away to your heart's content. And then it's just a case of playing around with the arrangement until you have them all in the spots that you like them. But it means that you can travel with it, for example, like if you're going on a long journey, or if you're going to visit family or something, you can die cut all of these pieces up, take your card bases and your glue, and then you can just play whilst assembling. So I really, really enjoy die cutting. Here we have a super adorable woodland scene. Now, this has got a bank at the bottom and it has got a cut line. So this is the exact die. But if you put your cutting plate up to here, then again, you can continue that particular aspect right down off towards the bottom of the card. And if you're making multiples, this sort of die for your seasonal cards, you can pop your Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or whatever your greeting is in the top, and do perhaps a little ink blending or a splatter in the background, and you've got your Christmas cards all set, as long as you're happy for them all to be the same, of course, that is. Next up, we have this absolutely gorgeous star wreath die. Now, I love a wreath because I love a focal point, but if you look at the size of that on a card, on a stand, this is a standard A2 card that I keep pulling in here, but it's really pretty. Then you can pop your sentiment, perhaps add a couple of peel-offs, and again, the heavy lifting of your card is already done. This is an enormous set, and these are our deer and flourish dies. So I will just pull out the die cuts. So you have got some really pretty, let's keep the card front in for perspective, but you've got this really lovely deer. You can pop a flourish in the corner. You could have multiple deer on your card if you wanted. If not, there's the large, and then there's the baby. And we've got lots of very pretty snowflakes. So these can all be run through the die cut machine at the same time. Or you could step away from the large deer completely and just have a couple of the small baby deer add in. As I say, it is just a case of playing at this point, isn't it? It's all fun. Let's pop those here. Okay, and we have these baubles. Now, these baubles are really special. So it's a bauble with Christmas trees and little stars and flourishes all within. And then the bit that makes this really cool is if I'd have die cut that, let's say, out of red, then I can die cut my top hanging piece out of gold, and then you can pop your little gold piece on there, and then you can die cut all of the trees out of green, and then the stars out of gold, and then every aspect, every tree or star within this has got a coordinating die so that you can layer this up and you have this really super beautiful bauble, and then in the middle pop your sentiment. Or you can just die cut it as is, because I saw that in gold and I thought that is so very pretty to have that on the card front with a piece of perhaps pretty pattern paper. And you could reverse die cut it so it could hang actually from a tree, it could be removed, and you've created a decoration as part of your card. There is something really special about giving a card that has a gift as part of it, I think. I've done that many, many times. Okay, we're nearly done with the dies, but they are all so amazing. So these are our mini panels. Now here, similar to the gift dies, these are relief. So I've snipped the outside edges to make them this size, but they are panel dies, so they're great for shaker cards because they only cut away the middle. And so we have Santa and the reindeer, and we have these snowflakes as well. And I think tomorrow's live is all going to be about Christmas shaker cards or holiday shaker cards. And I'm going to make using this and perhaps the gifts and perhaps even the bauble. I think the bauble would work really well. And then we have also the lovely hanging decorations. And sometimes a Christmas card or a holidays card can be just as simple as a really pretty die cut with a greeting. Like, it depends how hard you want to go in with your detail. But you could die cut these snowflakes a few times and have your baubles and call that a really pretty card. Alternatively, have your panel and then die cut a few snowflakes separate so that there's the continuation from these. And then we have this super cute wintry scene, and then these tiny little stars that you can pop in to create your night scene for Santa. Just trying to get these little stars the right way up so that you can see. It's just a really pretty set, and it's effortless. We're die cutting and then just playing with arrangement. So, as I say, I use a cuttle bug that I take with me, and we went camping this year. And I took my cuttle bug and a paper pad and some of my specialty papers, and I had a lovely time because also you just sit there and die cut. You can do that whilst you're in the car, whilst you're on the move. And yeah, right, so let's get into our snowflakes now. So this is one of our embossing folders, and it's really very pretty, as you can see. It does work both ways. There is a relief. Unfortunately, you can't see it very well on the white, but it's not a super deep etch, so it's not a tricky one to work out with your sandwich in your die cut machine. But that gives a really pretty finish without being overpowering on your card. And as you can see, this is obviously a piece of the matte mirror. It fits lovely on an A2 card base. This is a really special one. So this is lovely and big. So if you like a 5x7 card or a 6x6, if you look, this is nearly 5x5. It's a really lovely big die. So on a A2 size card base, you chop the edge off, and it's really special. I mean, and you could even have, just a portion of it chop here, so that it's like and then add some little mini star peel offs and things around. Super delicate and pretty. And incidentally, of course, you can always chop away the extra bits, and then you can just have the snowflakes or just chop out a flourish. I think this looks like it's one die, but it has so many different options to it, and I really enjoy seeing the extra bits that you can stretch your dies to. And then here we have a background die. Now look at the detail on this one. It is also one of these ones that you chop the edge off yourself. There is no outer edge, so you could leave it as big as you wanted. But look at this, if you just chopped that piece there, a really pretty die, pop your sentiment. Equally, you could do it running down the side of your card, continue it off. This is also screaming to be asked to be turned into a shaker card as well, I think. So that may get included in our live tomorrow. Next up, we have got some of our nativity themed and Christian themed dies. So we will run through these super quick. I'm only pulling out the pieces that we've die cut, so trust me, all the dies are in there. So here we have this really cute with the palm tree and the stable, the manger with Mary and Joseph, and then we have the Northern Star and Gabrielle there. So let's pop these over. This is the Three Kings which is again a wonderful silhouette die, meaning that if you have some really pretty patterned paper or some ink blending, these sort of dies don't need much more. I mean, you and I know that you can keep going forever, but that, such a pretty card, just by itself with some mirror and a white card base. But you've got the 3 wise men, you've got the donkey. It's a very, very pretty design. Next up, we have our stars and silhouette, and again this one continues off, so you can have this here and then continue the gold down. You could chop this and layer so that you can pop this slightly behind for on an A2 so that you can create layers coming down the card. You also have 2 different options on your star with that, which could also layer. Let's pop them this way around. If you did one out of a shiny and one out of a non-shiny, that really, really creates a beautiful image. And then we have our angel, because I do love an angel. Look at her, isn't she fabulous? Great for paper piecing, really happy and cheerful, and as you can see, she is enormous. So lovely for those bigger cards or for scrapbook pages, and another take on that Northern Star there. Okay, so we have our holiday themed dies. We now have some really beautiful papers, and I will try to be as quick as I possibly can. Now, this is a specialty collection, so I'm going to hope that on the close-up camera, I'm going to be able to pull you in to show you the glitter. I think you're just about able to make it out there, but there's an iridescent glitter over the snowflakes there, over the damask design there, and all of that snowflake is like a tone-on-tone snowflake and then covered in an iridescent glitter. Then this holly, oh, it shows well on that one. The holly is iridescent there. This is a canvas paper, so it's got real texture to it. And here we have Merry Christmas also on that textured paper. And then this is dry embossed. It may be easier to see from the reverse side, possibly not. Or you might just grab that there. But it's dry embossed with the diamonds facing up. This is dry embossed with these chevrons slightly raised. And here we get into our standard papers. So as you can see, this colour tone is a really warm, non-traditional colours. And they're really lovely and thick, really well made. And many of these non-specialty papers are in fact double-sided. So I will just quickly flick through. Again, there are still shots of all of these at the end, so you'll be able to have a look in closer detail. So there we go, they're all double-sided, and because these are all the specialty papers, they are single-sided. So we have that really pretty collection. Next up, we have the 2 turtle doves. So this is another specialty. So I'll pull you back in on the close-up. This one has gold glitter, which you can see over the stars and in slight accents on the drums. This is one of those canvas printed materials. You can see the gold foiling on the 5 gold rings. We have the glitter across the trees and the star. And we have the gold foiling, which I think this is so, so pretty. And it's just the 12 days of Christmas, and it's repeated twice. We also have turtle doves. And then we have these cut apart pages, which are really cute. So you can make little toppers and tags that coordinate directly. And here we have the partridges. Some really nice tonal sentiments, some poinsettias. Again, another really nice script that's really neutral and muted. Wreaths with the Merry Christmas, the nutcrackers. some pretty snowflakes, candy canes, and then we have the bells. And then again, we'll flip the whole lot over so you can see the back. And the backs are more muted. This is more of a distressed musical sheet music. Some polka dots, some lace, some diagonal stripes, the stars, more of that lovely sheet music, some berry branches, and some holly there with a bit of mistletoe. And then these are our specialty papers. So we have these. These papers, oh gosh, these mean so much to me. These were actually, I used this collection in one of my very first winter kits. So they're all single-sided, so I can just flick through them very quickly from the top down, but they're these really lovely browns, blues, crafts and whites. And they are so pretty. In this particular kit, I put a distressed crayon, lots of shiny gold and craft, and it was a really, really pretty one. But we have a few of the pads left, so we thought we would see if anybody wanted those, even though I wanted to keep them all for myself for nostalgic purposes, because isn't it lovely just to keep patterned paper that we love? Anyhow, next up we have another one of our specialty pads, and as you can see, the glitter there over the lodges and the trees, also on the reindeer. And we have a really cute polar bear scene, and then season's greetings, really pretty plaid, some wreaths, a chevron design with the grey, and then we've got this really lovely green script. And here's another one of the glitter specialty ones over those snow globes. Some more stripes with what looked to be like snow falling on there. Some pretty trees. Look at the penguins. So adorable. I love penguins. And we have these sort of stag horns with mistletoe, really pretty silver foiled snowflake sheet, some polar bears and trees, and then this really lovely nice deep green with the silver stars. To see the reverse side, there is a really pretty wood grain, some more of these little penguins. This was a specialty sheet. Some snowflakes. This almost looks like a wood bark. Some white stars, a lovely winter scene, some distressed polka dots and some snowflakes. So we have that there. And this also was another special edition that we had, and we sold out of this so quickly. Now these also have some specialty, so I'll pull you back in. We've got the stag with gold glitter. And then we've got some gold foiling here over this really nice design. And we have some selected gold glitter there. This is one of our regular sheets. These are all single-sided. But as you can see, they look really pretty. This has got some glitter over the snowflakes. This is a regular sheet. And then this tartan, which it looks so simple, just being those three different colours, the black, the ivory, and it is almost like a golden colour, but it looks so effective. And look at this, super shiny foiling. The magpie in me is screaming. And then we have this tonal, really lovely, almost like etched, and then we have gold glitter snowfall over black. So, okay, now we're going to move into our collections. Now, historically, we had a kit called the Enchanted Swan, and it sold out in no time. Now we have some of the items that we had from the kit available, so I'm going to share them with you. These are the toppers from the Enchanted Swan, and there is spot gloss and glitter on some of these here. As you can see, really super cute. I mean, this one, I think you can see some of the glitter here. It's selectively popped on the berries and the little branches there, and across the bow on the top of that one. Then we have our stickers, and you get 2 sheets. These are all die cut stickers, so they just peel up, and you've got your swans, made with love, merry and bright, joy, and then some snowflakes and stars. And they do have spot glitter Now these are decoupage sheets. So you can pop out, this is, look, they're all numbered. A1, you pop this one out, and then you'll look for A2, which is this one, and this one, and this one. And then you pop foam behind each of the number 2s and layer it onto that top one. And then you'll find all the ones that say A3, and you pop all of those out and then put those on top. So that you end with this really elaborate, beautiful topper. And then you've got a greeting at the bottom that says Merry Christmas. And these here are die cut toppers. So you just sort of pop them out of the page, and they've got this really lovely iridescent glitter as well. Lots of really pretty sentiments that go, and they're in these unusual or non-traditional holiday colours. Now this is our bundle, which has the toppers. It has 2 sheets of decoupage in each, the green and the pink. So there's 4 decoupage sets. You've got the die cut toppers, you've got the stickers, plus you have the garlands. I will just quickly pull those out, but they're a really pretty decoration there. And they're all on a string, so you can sort of dangle them across your cards or your scrapbook pages even, whatever it is that you're decorating. But that is our bundle. So that's the Enchanted Lake collection. Enchanted Swan, my apologies. And now next, this is actually a stamp set, Holly Jolly, which we have available already, but we have the rest of the collection. So we have the ephemera, which, as you can see, this is the Lash Girl illustrations, but there isn't any Lash Girls here, it's Lash Animals. So as you can see by the owl, she has some super lashes. And we have the bears, they're in sweaters. We have some really pretty floral pieces. There's a walrus, both with hat and without, and look at the penguin. Isn't that adorable? So the stamp set has the igloo, which the ephemera has in colour, but you also have the owl, but with both earmuffs and without, the Arctic fox and the polar bear. But there are additional characters here, and you have the Arctic fox with blooms and the deer. So that's the ephemera. We have the coordinating ribbon. So this is the Warm Winter Wishes ribbon, ephemera, and these are the papers. So let's just quickly, they're single-sided, they're 6 by 6, and as you can see, they are adorable, and they work perfectly with the ephemera in these really lovely muted tones of pinks, aquas, mint, and blues. So you've got lots of lovely hero pages, and then you have calmer ones to work as double ups if you like to do page layouts. This is one of my favourite, the roses in the blue. Really, really pretty. And the penguins all tumbling around having a lovely time. So that is our Warm Winter Wishes collection. I will just scooch these guys all up together. And then I did promise that I would share a Wicked Witches sneak peek. This is another one. So everyone deserves a chance to fly. And as you can see, there is some lovely shine here. It is a sneak peek, so I'm not going to say any more, but these are 2 of the cards now that I've shared that we're going to be making in our class. Anyhow, let's move on, and we have our products from our last kit. So this is from our Autumn Breeze, so we do release some of the items separately after the kit. So these are our brown mirror with gold finish straight peel-offs. As you can see, when you lift one up, it's got this really lovely brown mirror, and then it has a gold edging to it. It's super, super subtle. It looks a little bit more stark when it's on the page, but they just give that tiny little hint, and they're so elegant. So lovely. We have our Autumn Breeze layering leaf die. Now, this is 2 separate dies. So you can have just the outline, or you can use just the skeleton, but they do layer up beautifully. So this is how they look if you wanted to just use this, and you could die cut this from pattern paper. You could create a flourish of them across a scrapbook page. Really pretty. And then you also have the skeleton aspect. Oh, it's alive. We have our Autumn Breeze ephemera. which was super, super popular. Everybody's really enjoyed that. And we have our coordinating stamp set, which has 4 really lovely autumnal sentiments and options to have a real good colour or heat emboss. And we have the paper pack, which I will flick through super quickly, and it will be a flick, just so that you have an idea of what you can work with your stamps and your ephemera there. Now, all these still shots of everything that I've shown you are going to follow me shortly, so you'll be able to have a much better look if I was a bit too quick with something or you wanted a better idea on size. Now, we do have a new category in our website, and it is recommended add-ons. So these are items that you may have bought in previous releases, or that you already have on hand, but they work with our current kit. So, for example, let me just give you a quick show and tell. Here is our Festive Tales card kit. Gosh, there's a lot of shine here, I do apologise. Festive Tales card kit. And these are an example of some of the things that we've picked out. So we've got the Green Parade Nouveau Mist. We've got some of the mini gold paper clips. We've got red glitter dots. We've got some of the lace, some of our gel strips that are super 3D, the vintage Christmas peel-offs. There's lots and lots of items in there that you could be pulling out from your stash to then have working with you with our lovely Festive Tales kit. Well, my lovelies, thank you ever so much for sticking with me. We went through an awful lot there, but there's going to be so much fun, and tomorrow's video is going to be live, and we're going to be working with some of the dies that we've shared today, just to give you some examples and really show how to make them sing and make the most of them, because dies are fabulous for making lots and lots of cards in not a lot of time. Add-ons will be accepted up until 9 AM on the 31st of October. We will start shipping on the 3rd, which is the Monday. I do believe we have everything covered off. The Wicked Witches virtual retreat kit will also start shipping from early November. So if you're a subscriber, it will go in your kit box and you won't be charged any additional shipping. And any other questions, any other queries, please do let me know. You can either pop it in the comments here or you can send us an email. But here are all the still images, and until next time, make something beautiful. Bye.